January 8th, 2026 is the regular council meeting for the City of Tallulah Council. First item on the agenda after the call to order is the pledge and the prayer. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bow our heads in prayer. Father God, we come before you once again, thankful to be in your presence and thankful to come to you in prayer. Father, I ask that you allow everyone in here tonight to work in a unified spirit and towards the betterment of Tallulah. And as we leave here tonight, Father, I ask you to give traveling grace to everyone as they go back home. These things we pray in your name. Amen. Okay. Did get a message from Councilman Scott. They are in the hospital. Well, he has a family member in the hospital. They've been awaiting a baby, so he does not think he's going to make it tonight. And Miss Houston is running a few minutes late, so she should be here. So, Gerald, can you give a roll call, please?
Wells? Here. Day?
Present.
Harris?
Here. Okay, so we do have a quorum.
Houston? Scott?
We have a quorum. Before we go on to public comments on the agenda, I would like to ask the council if we could add an item to the agenda. I neglected to put it on there. It is the approval of a proposal for renovation work at the community center. We got two proposals, one from Mr. Wilson Matthews, MacCon Contractors, and one from Tallulah Construction. And wanted to see if we could add that item to the agenda.
Due to the fact that it's not meet the 24-hour timeline threshold, I say no.
Okay, is there a motion to add the item to the agenda? No? Okay, we'll put it on the next agenda. Gerald, go ahead and make sure you reflect that Ms. Houston is here.
This is my concern with how we do business. If we don't talk about these concerns, like, if we publicize or bid these projects out, how do we go through the process of soliciting quotes for the community center base? They never came before the council.
Well, we have them now, and I said I neglected to put them in the package.
No.
We did reach out to local contractors to do the work, and we got two quotes. I tried to get the other contractor here, couldn't get a hold of him. For this amount of work, it doesn't have to be publicized. We just need to reach out to local contractors.
But see, again, maybe you missed my question. My question was, why wasn't the council made aware of us seeking out the work to be done at the community center, as far as what type of improvement, the work needs to be done. But it didn't come before the council for us to actually submit for quotes for that project.
So the council was made aware that we did get an LGAP grant for $50,000. We talked about this several times about what we wanted to do at the community center. The council is well aware of this. So if we're not going to put it on the agenda, then we
The
can.
point I'm making, Mayor, was this. What I'm saying is, the council, we don't know what you're trying to get work done. We've had discussions, but I think things should be done in a formal way, where we're saying we're gonna get the roof fixed, we're gonna get the PA system fixed, we're gonna work on floor, we're gonna work on tile, we're gonna fix the bathroom fixtures. See, those type of things that we need to know. Yes, we have discussions, but before it goes out for an RFP, then we should, as a council, should see that and say, this is the RFP we're gonna submit to local contractors. That's all I'm saying.
And again, I did tell you the work that I wanted to have done at the community center.
That's not formal.
Okay. So if we're not gonna put it on the agenda, then there's no sense in discussing it, and we'll move forward. Okay, do we have any public comments on the agenda? Okay, if not, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes of the December 11th, 2025 regular meeting. Are there any corrections?
Yes, I think we need to add, I want to make sure Attorney Grady's letter of resignation is entered into the minutes for that meeting. I want her letter to be added to the minutes. then also, you mentioned about the audit. What was it, the audit? You mentioned about the audit, I'm sorry, about the budget that was passed, the ordinance that was passed, it was not done the proper way, and so it wasn't gonna be official to December 24th. That needs to be in the minutes,
Oh, okay.
because there's no way in there. So we need to add that the budget ordinance that we adopted, we didn't adopt it the right way, so it didn't go into effect till December 24th, so that needs to be part of the minutes.
So
In
actually.
other words, it extended it a month.
Hold on just a second, Gerald. We actually did adopt it correctly. What we did not do was specify an effective date.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
the effective date was 30 days after it was adopted.
Right.
So yes, we will put that in the
That is
minutes.
part of the minutes.
Okay, is there anything else? If nothing else, is there a motion to approve the December 11, 2025 minutes for the regular meeting?
Motion that we approve the minutes with the necessary corrections.
Okay, we have a proper motion. Is there a second? Second. We have a proper motion by Ms. Day, second by Ms. Harris. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
Yes.
Okay, next on the agenda is presentation from Attorney Jay Mitchell. As everyone knows, Attorney Brady has resigned. Tomorrow will be her last day. So we have spoken with two other attorneys thus far, and tonight we have invited Mr. Jay Mitchell to come up, give us a little information about himself. So, sir, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Council members, appreciate the chance to come to before y'all and to visit with you and to introduce myself and our law firm. I given some information to you. Our law firm is, I just say Hammond Seals. There's Hammond Seals, Atkins, Dice, Snow, and Perkins, I'm supposed to say. We have offices in Baton Rouge and Monroe. I'm out of the Monroe office, about a 30 plus or minus lawyer law firm. Our firm, throughout its history, has represented school boards. We represent almost every school board in the state. We represent the Madison Parish School Board, so we know the lay of the land in Tallulah. The good thing about doing school board work is we have dealt and historically dealt as a firm with the same issues y'all deal with. Open meetings questions, public contract questions like Mr. Wells had, bid law, public finance, public construction, under all these things. We've got in our firm a tremendous amount of knowledge and resources and some great lawyers. Now, about me personally, just a little background, I would be your point man. I'm out of Monroe. I've recently joined the firm. I've known these fellows. Some of them were my law partners 25 years ago when I left to become the parish attorney in Ouachita Parish. So for the last 23 and a half years, I've served full-time as an assistant DA in the 4th Judicial District, but my only work was the civil work for the Ouachita Parish Police Jury, and then for about the last 12 years, Mr. Jones also added being the parish attorney in Morehouse. So through that, I've got a lot of experience, not necessarily in municipal work, though I've worked with a lot of towns and cities, but with all aspects of local government, and doing parish work, as y'all know, that involves sewer districts, water districts, garbage districts, etc. So the parishes have dealt with a lot of the issues y'all deal with as a city. So I wanted to come and present. Appreciate being considered. I think that our firm would be a good choice. I would look forward to working with y'all. Miss Christina Moore, who I think, Christina and I actually joined the firm on the same day, but she's a lot younger. Christina is on the next to last page. Christina is a younger lawyer that would work, firms identified to work with me. They've asked me to kind of be a mentor to Christina. She would be here tonight, but we had an appearance at the Bastrop City Council that Christina is handling. So, any questions at all? I'll be happy to answer anything now. You got, I put a card there. It's got my phone number, email, etc. So, thank y'all. And Mayor, thank you.
Oh, no problem. So we meet the second and the fourth Thursday of every month.
Okay.
5:30. I know you're in Monroe, but you know.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ask you to be here. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
My question is not for Mr. Mitchell right now, but what is the purpose of having a deadline? Because you said the deadline to submit names for a possible city attorney was November 28th, according to your email. And now we're January the 8th. So what was the deadline for?
To get information from you all?
Right.
Okay.
So we had two attorneys that has come before the council since the deadline, and those names have never been submitted to us. So, Mr. Mitchell, how did you find out about this job?
I got a telephone call from Mayor Lewis, and said that the town or the city was looking for counsel, and our firm had been recommended, by folks in Baton Rouge, I believe, and so, so I answered her phone call, and again, I appreciated hearing from her, and, talked to Mr. Perkins, our managing partner down in Baton Rouge, and he directed me to come and appear before y'all, so.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, anyway, so.
Okay. My question is, so if we're gonna submit names as a council, right? And then we have a deadline that we're supposed to adhere to, you say November 28th. And then, Mayor, for the past two meetings, you have brought individuals before the council that we know nothing about. Well, I say me. Nothing against Mr. Mitchell, nothing against the young man that came at the last meeting. But if we are gonna operate as a city leadership team, as the mayor and the council, if you give us a deadline, then I'm thinking the mayor should abide by the same deadline. But Mr. Mitchell, when did you talk to the mayor?
Pardon?
When did the mayor speak with you?
I don't recall, it's been some time ago, it was well before Christmas, maybe before, I know it was well before Christmas.
I shouldn't ask you that. But Mayor Lewis, when did you contact Mr. Mitchell?
I don't know the exact date. It's been probably about 2.5 weeks.
Okay. And see, that's my whole point. As a council person, I was the only one that I know of that submitted a name to you. And have you heard anything about Attorney Jackson? Did you say you submitted a letter to?
I have not heard back.
Okay. So, how long are we gonna do this process?
I would suspect that we will have something on the next agenda to
Because
select someone.
it's obvious that the council's opinion really don't matter.
But the council hasn't given any opinion.
I gave you an attorney, I brought an attorney before you, nobody else brought one. And now, you told us, I got your email right here, 'cause I know, I have the email, you said you're gonna submit the names to you no later than Friday, November 28th. And here we are now, January 8th, we still bring attorneys.
Okay, so I think you need to remember that the city attorney, it's my recommendation. So if I gave you all a deadline to give me names, if I went past that, then that is my prerogative.
Even if it's your recommendation, you can't appoint anyone if the council does not vote for it.
I'm not trying to appoint anyone, which is why
Yeah,
I
so
brought you
so
here.
you say it's your recommendation. Your recommendation is you saying a name. If we say no, your recommendation means zero.
Actually,
So what I'm saying is you gotta understand it's gonna be a partner, it has to be a partnership.
Right.
And so, Mr. Mitchell, I hate you have to hear this, but I'm very direct. But so if we're
I'm
gonna handle,
honest.
and if we're gonna handle business the right way, if you give us a deadline, then in order for us to do things right, then we should all operate under the same auspices.
Was there anything else?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. So you're operating on a different set of rules. And so nothing you do can happen if you say no.
Okay, thank you all.
Okay.
So
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell.
I probably want to see what's happening right here now.
Mr. Mitchell, I would like to ask some questions.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can you come up to the microphone, sir?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
The mic, they can hear.
Mr. Wilson, please step to the microphone, sir.
Don't stop.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Mitchell, do you have an hourly rate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is your hourly rate?
$225 an hour.
Okay. Is there anything outside of the hourly rate that you charge the city for?
Yes, sir, if we'd be reimbursed any normal business expenses that any law firm would recover for, if I were to FedEx something here, we would be reimbursed for the costs we incurred. Filing fees with the clerk of court, on things such as conveyance records, rights of way, things like that, would file into the land record. We'd advance those costs, and submit that on our monthly bill for reimbursement. We bill in 1/10 of an hour increments. Ms. Moore's rate, I did not, get Ms. Moore's rate, it would be lower than mine, because, I think 200 is about the lowest rate they charge, because she's younger and not as experienced.
So if the both of you are working on a file for the city, jointly, that means the city would have to incur your rate plus Ms. Moore's rate as well, right?
Yes, so, and I will be glad to answer the question if that's the pleasure of the council. Now, sure, if depending, however, I would be the responsible billing attorney, and I've been doing this, we represent public bodies all over the state, and I have been fussed at by partners for not billing hard enough. I've never been fussed at a client for unfairly billing them. I'm not going to send a bill that I'm not comfortable with. And I mentioned to you, I've been charged by our management with being a mentor toward Christina. I would probably involve her in some things that I would also, I would bring her along for some things. Her time would not be billed in that capacity. In order, if she's there for her benefit, we would not bill you for that. If, however, you have a council meeting and I have an obligation and Christina comes and she would bill for her time, obviously I wouldn't. You would probably see a charge for, I'm gonna guess, 3/10 of an hour, 15, 20 minutes at most of me visiting with her before the meeting to go over the agenda and tell her what I know about the issues on the agenda. Probably being an old guy, probably giving her my opinion as to what I think she ought to recommend to y'all, where I'm coming from. You know how it is when you're coaching somebody. So that's about it, yeah.
So, my next question is, how would you, okay, the city has a lot of things that's about to transpire, okay? And if Councilwoman Houston happens to have a question, how would you charge for that question that Councilwoman Houston would have?
Unless I was directed differently, I would answer any member of the council's question, any question obviously of the mayor. If the head of the Public Works Department called and said, Jay, look, we got a man telling us we can't cross the property, I've got this, I would answer whatever question representative of the city called with, and I would put my time on my time sheet for how long I talked to them. If the mayor or council gave me a direction only to talk to X, Y, Z, I have to hear what that direction was before I could decide whether we could effectively represent the board. Now, for example, some of the school boards, they don't want us to talk to any individual teachers, no one below the principal level. So if we get a call from a teacher with a question, I'll say, gee, look, you're gonna need to run that through Mr. So-and-so. Does that help?
I have two other questions for you. The next question is, would you be the council attorney or the mayor's attorney?
You know what? I have no idea. My understanding of the role, because I haven't looked at that, my understanding of the role would be as city attorney. And I have seen places where the mayor has an attorney and another attorney represents the council. In my honest opinion, that's an absolute waste of public money and a waste of public time, and it sets up an adversarial relationship. I mean, to be honest, if our firm wasn't representing, quote, the city, and that doesn't mean everybody always agrees, but the mayor, and in the school board situation, we tread between working directly with the superintendent, but at the direction of the board. So you see what I'm saying?
So
you gotta have, I'm not gonna call 5 people every time a question comes up, and all. The mayor would definitely be the point of contact.
So,
It's not my first rodeo.
I know I said the council and the mayor, but what about the people? Because the city attorney not only represents the council, the mayor, but you also represent the people of the city.
So, lawyer terms, no, actually represent the city, but I agree with you. My past has been, and I would never have represented I would never have served as a parish attorney, outside of the context of being an assistant DA, because, the job of an assistant DA, I think a parish attorney, and I think a city attorney, is first and foremost be sure that the client, the city, follows the law. And look, it's not worth me being involved in someone doing wrong. That's, in other words, the first and foremost job would be that the law would be followed. I believe that that serves the interest of the city as well as every citizen of the city. If we'll all just follow the law and work together, it works out a lot better. So that, I mean, that's my answer. And I didn't really know I was going to get, I like you. We were visiting a minute, but who are you, if you don't mind?
Antonio,
Okay.
your next mayor.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah,
Just ask your two questions.
Hey, come here.
Please take your seat, Mr. Wilson. You've
When
asked your two
council,
questions.
yeah, when the mayor and council dismiss me, if you want to, I'll
Councilman
visit,
Wells,
I'll visit a
has
while.
another comment.
It's not for you, Mr. You have to leave, you go ahead, it's not for you. The question I have is not for you.
Okay.
But you have to leave, it's okay, you have to leave. So, but my question is, are we hiring the attorney or will we be hiring the firm?
We would be hiring the firm if I'm.
Yes, if I may, I think I can answer that. So, I mean, the name on if you put something, who's our city attorney, it would be Jay Mitchell, but I'm a member of a firm. So you would be hiring our firm, your checks would be written when you pay our bill, payable to the order of the law firm. So you'd be hiring the firm, but I would be your person, I'd be your point man, I'd be your lawyer. Again, the beauty of the law firm is that, again, like tonight, Christina's covering Bastrop, and I came to see y'all. It's much more effective than trying to do it by yourself.
And the reason why I'm asking that, because we're gonna move from possibly paying one person to 2 or 3 individuals. And we're gonna lose consistency, even though there's gonna be communication going back and forward. If you have more than one person dealing with a matter, somebody's gonna miss something. Because there's no way Mr. Mitchell will be able to brief Christina on everything that she needs to know. There's no way possible. So maybe we shouldn't say we want to hire a city attorney, so we want to start looking for law firms.
Is there anything else?
Because I'm just gonna do, I promise you I will, because I got a lot else. So we're moving, and I see what's happening now. The decision is not being made locally. Because Mr. Mitchell says someone from Baton Rouge.
If I could address that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir, I just, for what it's worth, my name was out there because I appeared at, I gave a presentation at the Louisiana Municipal Association conference at the meeting in Minden, back in the fall, and led that was, I believe, the small town mayors group, but I gave information about our law firm and said that we were available, and wanted to do work for municipalities, and we've gotten a lot of calls in our name, maybe not outside of it. I mean, our firm's pretty well known, in Baton Rouge, and it was kind of I think the LMA appreciated that we were getting into it. So yes, sir. So no, I'm gonna use a word my friend Judge Sharp uses a lot, no funny business.
I promise you I know what's happening.
That's where it came from.
I promise you I got it.
All right.
I see it all the way.
Okay,
Without
anything
doubt,
else?
I see it all the way.
Is there a question over here?
Yes, sir.
I know who called the shots.
Name Thomas Mitchell, 701 South Walnut Street. Question is, it sounds like it's an information gap here. Anybody who's soliciting a job of any sort, any title, they should be vetted. That's my personal opinion. You vet the people. I think the board member would like to know They should come in with a portfolio, I want the job, and here's my stuff. And it's not been done that way, it doesn't sound like it's been done that way. So, and that's for anybody who runs for office of any sort, they should be vetted, they give the board members an opportunity to make the decision for themselves. So, there's no mess around, and everybody gets an
That's what's
opportunity to
happening
do
now,
that.
sir. He did give information, he did provide,
And all board members been provided.
yes.
If I may, no, sir, she's gonna talk about me, I'm gonna talk to her.
No.
There's my resume,
That's fine.
Louisiana law
That's
review,
fine. They're all matching there.
LSU law review, Hall of Fame.
Mr. Mitchell.
So, if you got any questions about my
Mr. Mitchell,
qualifications.
go ahead.
Okay.
Both of you guys.
But I've given all that
I
information.
What's your
made a general statement. All people running, soliciting for a position should be vetted by the board.
Everybody's came
It's
forward
all-
about their information.
Exactly, so this should get that away, so, because documentation is the key, like I said, he said, everybody had to get the documentation, it can't be any, one does not.
Everyone got the information, Mr. Mitchell. Thank you so much, sir.
That's personal, sir.
Is there anyone else? Thank you so much, sir. Okay, the next item on the agenda is approval resolution declaring the Coca-Cola building surplus. So we've talked in the past, about, well, several months ago, we were approached by, a group who wanted to purchase the, Coca-Cola building, to renovate it and put it back into commerce. From there, we've had another offer we had it appraised, and we had another offer on the building. So to go forward with what we want to do, we first have to, declare it surplus, and then an ordinance will have to be introduced, to sell the property. So tonight is the first step, and that is declaring the property surplus. The council has been, provided with a copy of the resolution. Are there any questions from the council? Okay, Mr. Wilson, yes?
Yes.
I didn't want to say that first, I was trying to see if somebody else had a question.
Okay.
But this is my concern with this whole process. Because there's certain things that you as an administrator, you did a big and dive head first for. We've been dealing with this Coca-Cola building, I think, about 3 months now. And you're moving swiftly to sell an asset. We as a council and you as an interim mayor, I'm gonna be about 4 or 5 more months. And we're gonna do something that can really change the trajectory of Tallulah. If the right companies, you laid off with a company talking about buying the building, I think this is the direction you want to go, she made that comment in the police jury. If we go with a company, I would prefer a company that's gonna bring in a tax revenue base for the city. That's gonna generate commerce and finances for us on a revolving basis. And right now, with the way we're going and the direction that you want to take it, is that once we sell it, that's it for us. And so I think that what we can do as a council, I think we need to slow down. Because we're not going to be here long. And you're serving in an interim capacity. And I don't think that we need to move to sell the city assets while we're operating in an interim status.
Anyone else have any comments? Okay, is there a motion to approve the resolution to declare the Coca-Cola building surplus?
Comment?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Yes. Madam Mayor, my first question is, why does it have to be a surplus? Why does the city asset has to be sold as a surplus?
In order to sell it, it has to be declared surplus, and then we go on to the ordinance
So,
process.
have you presented the council and the public that information saying that it has to be submitted as a surplus property?
No.
Okay, so submitting something as a surplus property and the council doesn't have that information, how do they know that that property should be listed as a surplus property? Now, I'm the second person that put the offer in, and I only put the offer in because if you want to sell something, that a city asset and give it away, you know, I'm all in for that. You buy low, sell high. So I don't understand why any council member would consider selling a city asset. And my reasoning is, let's say after your interim role, the next mayor come in and the next mayor sees a vision for the property. Now that person can't move the city forward if they have some plan to have some tax revenue that comes from that particular space. Just handing a city asset to someone, whether it's me or whomever, it's absurd. And we shouldn't be giving our assets away. If the city becomes put themselves in a situation where we need, we got to have some collateral, that building can serve as that collateral. We always have grants and different things that we need, regardless of the dilapidated state that it sits in today. So I don't understand. Help me understand the surplus issue and why are we so quickly we're trying to sell our city away. Now, we're selling the building, we're selling the water. You're trying to give everything away in the interim process. Why? Help the citizens understand what is the logic of a person that has no ties to this city will sell all of the citizens of this city that has lived here for many years, and one that has no physical ties to the city will sell everything that we have.
Okay.
Can you answer that?
I absolutely can.
When
When I got here in 2011, and it's now 2025, that's 15 years, okay? That property has been like that for that long. Okay, I'm sorry for, it's been like that for longer. We had individuals who are from Tallulah, who do have ties to this community, who approached us wanting to bring a business to that building and renovate it. That is why I am wanting to get this done. And then you came, sir, and you wanted to purchase it afterwards. Now you've never, hold on, let me finish, okay? Now, since I've known you, you've never said anything about that building until somebody else wanted to do something with it.
Because I keep my powder dry.
Hold on just 1 second, okay? So, you asked me why I wanted to do it. I would like to see a blighted building in this community fixed up. Yeah, I would. If I'm, hold on just 1 second, I'm still speaking, okay? The other part of that is with regard to the resolution, okay? Attorney, if I am correct, we did look into this, correct? And it does have to be declared surplus first.
That's correct.
And then there is an ordinance.
She's already said she's gonna leave now, so I don't think we should involve that.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter, she is still the attorney.
Till tomorrow.
Okay,
Like 7
I did not
she's
interrupt
gone.
you.
I ain't interrupted you, you talk to the attorney.
Okay,
So I joined the
what is
conversation.
happening? What is happening here?
Let me tell you a minute.
Okay, what is happening? Okay, we're not, okay. We have a blighted building, we have some folks, including yourself, who want to do something with it, and we're going to do something with it.
The group that came before council, interim mayor, the ideal that they have doesn't bring any value to the city. The business that they want to bring to this building, we get no tax revenue from that business, not 1 cent. So to sell your asset to get nothing is absurd. To sell your asset, no, that's a business
I'm not going to go
opinion.
back and forth with you.
You don't have to.
Please take your seat, okay? Please take your seat.
You get offended when somebody's
Please take
right.
your seat, sir, okay? Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
See, this is my concern. I'm not trying to be controversial, but however, if we're gonna move properties, we should have a plan in place where the city is gonna gain something. I don't care how long the building is sitting up there vacant or dilapidated. If we're gonna sell the property, at least have something where the citizens gonna generate some type of revenue from it. for you guys, for the past administration, our finances has been on a decline. And we have moved every time to give stuff away. I've never seen where people represent a place and the only thing we want to do is give something away. When I first got here, we was letting folks DMX from the city. We voted on it about 4 times. Then, you know, we moved to, well, we got a company that's generating money from the city. We don't know what we're getting for the water company. They don't give us no finances. The attorney ain't did what she supposed to do the whole time. I asked for the doggone bankruptcy status.
Okay, sir, we're talking about the Coca-Cola.
I'll get back to all of that.
Okay,
But my
so
whole,
let's stay on task,
I want to
okay?
say, I promise on task. Stop interrupting me. You don't want me to interrupt you. So now, I don't care about that, Mr. Carl. You know what I'm saying? She be rude. So now, my point is this. I said, my point is this. We have constantly came before the citizens as a interim mayor and as a council, all the time giving something away from the city of Tallulah. And I always ask, what are we going to ever get something for Tallulah? If we're going to give away a multi-million-dollar asset with that Coca-Cola building, what are we going to gain from it? Are we going to generate any type of revenue after it's gone? Have we talked to someone that may populate the building? Are they going to have a tax base that we're going to generate from? Or once we sell it, it's gone, we no longer collect anything from it? Just fixing the building up is not helping the city. It may make it look better, but how are we going to stand financially? Because right now, we're doing a piss poor job with money. You all are. Because you all have voted for everything that's went forward as far as us losing. We're here now talking about declaring the Coca-Cola bill surplus to sell it. So what is your plan to generate revenue for the city? And we, like I said, right now we're on a part-time basis. All of us. Have about 4 or 5 months before people select a new council and a new mayor. And I think we're doing a disservice to people by trying to give stuff away in the last 5 months. That's not fair to people.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the
We
resolution?
got comments.
Yes, sir.
What is the historical process in renovating that building and where the city can gain something from it?
Where the city can gain something from it. So the way that, what we're trying to do now, the company or whatever company comes in to renovate it, they're gonna have to renovate it to historical standards. Okay? Look, folks, let's not play like.
I'm just asking.
No, I'm answering. Okay? We have a blighted building. That building has been blighted for a very, very long time. Okay? There is absolutely nothing wrong with trying to get that building fixed up and bringing a business in here that hopefully can do something with our kids or whatever the case may be, whoever buys it, okay? I'm all for fixing that building, getting it back into commerce. If anybody has an idea about bringing a business in that can generate some tax revenue, I'm all about listening to it. But we haven't had anybody come forward with that type of idea. So this is where we are now.
Okay.
Okay.
One more question. Is that building on the National Historic Registry?
Yes.
Yes.
And we're gonna sell a national historical monument? Is actually what it is.
And the individual who purchased it will have to restore it back by the historical, the way that they have to. So
What is that? What is the guideline? The city has not presented the guideline. And that's the whole
Those are
point.
state federal laws.
Okay, hold on, okay? There are very clear state and federal laws on how you have to do that, okay? It would be different if we had, hold on just 1 second, sir, okay? It would be different if we had anybody showing any interest in this building, but we have not, okay? And that's just the bottom line. At the last meeting, Councilman Wells said, okay, I'm going to look into whether Coca-Cola can give us some money so we can build it up. What happened with that?
We still research. They're supposed to be coming, get in contact with me.
So I can tell you.
No, you missed my name.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, now, also, Councilman Wells said, let's make sure that whoever we give it to, we get some money from it. Say that part. Now, will we consider that as downtown property as well? Because when somebody else wanted to do some property, y'all said they had to go through some kind of building codes or had to be approved by a committee, that's the fault.
No, that's not what was said. Okay? So,
Madam Mayor, can I
No, sir,
respond?
you've already spoken on
But
this.
you made a statement
You've
about
already
state.
spoken. Mr. Wilson,
You can-
you have already had your time to speak on this. Thank you. Okay, is there a motion to approve the resolution declaring the Coca-Cola building surplus?
I motion to approve a resolution declaring the Coca-Cola building surplus.
Okay, we have a proper motion, is there a second?
Second.
It has to be read.
Hold on just one second. Councilman Wells, hold on. Okay, we have a proper motion and a second to approve a resolution declaring the Coca-Cola building surplus. A resolution of the city of Tallulah declaring immovable property as surplus and further authorizing the demolition, disposal, and or rehabilitation in accordance with state law. Whereas the city of Tallulah is the owner of the Coca-Cola building in Tallulah, Louisiana, parcel number 8200004660. I'm trying to read without any glasses. Subdivision of the original town lot 71, CR 192-/137, hereinafter referred to as the Coca-Cola building, which is a blighted immovable property that is no longer needed for public purposes and is hereby declared surplus property. And whereas the official legal description of the property is lot 71 of the subdivision of the original town of Tallulah, Louisiana, situated in Madison Parish, Louisiana, together with all of the rights, improvements, and appurtenances thereto belonging or appertaining. Whereas the city of Tallulah desires to sell the property with the intention of the buyer rehabilitating said property and placing it back into commerce. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Tallulah, Parish of Madison, Louisiana, does hereby declare that the Coca-Cola building is no longer needed by the city and is hereby declared surplus property and shall be put up for sale in accordance with state law. This resolution having been submitted to a vote, the vote thereon was, and there is room for the votes, and the day that the resolution has been declared adopted.
Madam Mayor,
My question to that.
Okay, Mr. Lee?
I would just, good afternoon. Name's Arthur Lee, and, just to address the historical preservation part of the building, you cannot destroy that building. That building has to be maintained at its constant, where it is right now in terms of its foundation, its structure. It has to be maintained at that level. Now, doing things, fixing things on the inside of it, even to go and change the windows in that building, that has to be approved from the State Historical Preservation Society. So when you're talking about going in and tearing down those buildings and doing major demolition and or construction, that's not an allowable. And the examples of this would be the Bloom Arcade building down here. They can sell the building, but you cannot change the formal structure of the building. Thank you.
And just to further go with Mr. Lee's point, that is why in the title of the ordinance, it does say demolition, disposal, and or rehabilitation in accordance with state law. Okay, and there will be an ordinance following this, which will list out everything that needs to be done by historical standards. The ordinance will be pretty detailed. So we have a proper motion and a proper second to approve the resolution. May we have a roll call, Gerald?
Wells,
No.
Day,
Yes.
Harris,
I'm going to say yes, because I talked to my constituents and
Houston.
they don't like
Yes.
the blighted building down there, so.
Scott, and
Okay. All right, next item on the agenda is discussion of the objection to occupational license issued to Andrea Hicks on November 13th, 2025. So we had this item on the agenda, and the council approved a occupational license for Ms. Hicks. Ms. Hicks, I believe, is here with us today. After the approval of that, we received a objection to the occupational license. We also received some phone calls. We also received written letters from different individuals who live in that particular area. So I'm gonna read to you all from the zone book. The property itself is in a residential R70 zone. The uses permitted for that are dwellings, schools offering general education courses, nurseries, municipal use, and public utility uses, accessory uses, churches, public buildings, and clubs, as provided in section 4-45A, which just talks about clubs. If you look on the map behind you, I put a little dot where the property itself is located. You can see it is in an R70 zone. I am going to allow the attorney to talk from here. She did look into this matter, and so you could give us a little bit of information.
So, occupational licenses are usually issued as a matter of course. And it's not usually something that's up for debate. Now, if you have a known violation of a zone, building or zone regulation that's in defunct, you need to address that. And I can't confidently say that there's been a violation here, but I think there's a strong possibility that there has been if it's commercial activity that's going on in a residential zone. I think that a fair argument could be made that if you are having foster children in a home, that's a residential purpose. But if it's beyond, traditional foster care, such that the state's requiring that you get permitting, I think that could transcend over into a commercial purpose. And it's something that I don't feel like there's enough information for me to form a complete opinion about whether or not it's a residential activity or it's a commercial activity, but it's something that that the council and the city needs to investigate further. And if it's something that y'all want to bring back up for reconsideration after doing your due diligence, and that's something that you need to do.
Attorney Brady, I do have a question, because we have a group home that's right here behind the community center. And so, but that's a residential area as well, and that's a group home.
I hear what you're saying.
We would have to see if it's in the
Look at this.
Hold on,
Is that only?
It's in residential.
hold on just 1 second, Councilman Wells. Ms. Harris is still speaking. Right, and I think we would have to look to see, the distinction is whether it's R70 or R40. There's some things that could happen in R40 that cannot happen in R30. So what I'm gonna do is ask Ms. Hicks to come forward, okay? Because as I understand now, when you came before the council, you were going to be fostering in the home, okay? My understanding, well, I will allow you to tell us.
I already fostered in my home.
Okay, are you living in that home?
Yes.
You live in that home?
Yes, I live there.
Okay, and you're fostering those children in that home?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because when you and I spoke, you told me that you were buying another property that
I
you're gonna be
do, but
moving
I
into.
ain't fostering in the home that I'm in now.
Okay,
That's the home that's transitioning into a DCFS home.
I'm sorry, say
It's,
that.
they are DCFS keys, it's transition. I already have 4, in order to have 6, you have to have an occupational license.
Right, and, right, so you were already fostering in the home. Now, I think when I came over and spoke with you, that you were moving into another home. You were going to have the 6 young girls or whatever in the home, and you were going to have individuals working there, monitoring those.
Yes.
To me, that's a little different than fostering.
No.
But that's, hold on, I'm just saying, okay? That's typically
Is it
foster, hold,
I ain't
yes, ma'am.
fostering, I ain't.
My question,
Okay, hold on just 1 second, Councilman Wells.
And you don't want to put yourself in a situation.
Okay, so, what we're trying to do here is first of all, see if it's zoned correctly and actually what you are doing there. So what you're telling us is that you live in the property and that you are fostering there. Okay. Mr. Wells?
My question is, the property that you're trying to get the occupational license from, are you currently living there now?
Ms. Hicks, since you've had your business, have you had any type of problems out of the girls?
Since you had your foster.
Since you've had your foster, yeah, your foster kids, have you had any, problems with any type of, having the police being involved or anything that would be dangerous of that sort, drug use.
Hold on, Councilman, you have been recognized.
I was still, I was still speaking.
Okay, I said, hold on, you have not been recognized. Mr. Terrence
I
is
was
speaking.
at first. I just put my hand down, because I was gonna come again, and told me to have it. So I had no problem speaking, but I was gonna say something else.
Okay, hold on, just one second, okay? Again, I think the issue is, you came to us, you said because you were going to have 6 kids, that you needed the occupational license, which is a business license, okay? What the opposition to this is R70 is very clear that that businesses, commercial businesses are not zoned for that particular area. That's the opposition to it. Mr. Wells, yes?
My question is, okay, when the state told you,
Okay, I'm sorry.
okay, when the state asked you to get an occupational license, did they say you was gonna enter into a business relationship at that time? Did it change anything that was going on?
No.
They just said because you went from 4 people in the house to 6. It did not change it being a foster home, right, that you live in. So I think that what we're starting to say is because there's an occupational license being sought, that it's a business. The requirement that the state says because you're moving from 4 to 6, because your occupancy is increasing. That does not mean it's moving from a residential place to a business. So I think that when we're jumping the gun, because the state would have clearly defined that if you're going to get 6, you're now recognized as a business.
I believe that's what she told us when she came.
No, she did not. She said the state said in order for me to have 6 people in the house, I had to get an occupational license. She never once said it was a business. She said, according to the state guidelines, we currently have 4. Said she was looking to bring in 6. And said the state said because we're looking to bring in 6, you need to get an occupational license. So it never once changed the intent of a residency. It's still a residence.
Historically.
See,
Hold on.
historically, the city of Tallulah has always done stuff wrong.
Historically, we have given occupational licenses for business.
But because historically, we have always done stuff wrong, and we never want to be told what's right. And that's why we're in the state we're in now. Because we always done it like this. And it's been wrong all the time. So then when someone come and tell you the right way, mad at her, it was right. It all get mad, you get attitudes. So what happened, she said the state told her she should move from 4 individuals to 6.
Right.
Because the occupancy for her foster kids is increasing. So she got to get an occupational license for the 6 residents in the home. It did not say it's going to move from a residence to a commercial building.
Nobody ever said that.
Yeah, you all saying it moved to another R70, R40. It's still a residence. The state just said because you're adding 2 more people to the house. Now, you got to just get an occupational license going to be there. It never said you're moving to a commercial establishment.
Nobody said anything about moving
So-
to a
so-
commercial
so-
establishment. Okay?
So the occupational license is granted. So what's the issue is on?
Hey, hold on just one second.
This is a question for me. I had several residents asking this question. Apparently, they're thinking that you are fixing to have a halfway house. Is this what, your kids are 14 years old, so I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna be it's gonna be a halfway house for 14 years old. That's what I've been approached with on several times, that, hey, Ms. Houston, they say it's gonna be a halfway house.
Hang on, folks. Hold on, folks. Let's let
They are
Ms. Hold on just one second,
They
folks.
just come
Let
from
Ms.
one
Hicks.
home to another home. These kids are people that like us don't accept teenagers. That's all it is.
What has happened now? There's been a smear campaign
Exactly.
to try to discourage what is taking place. See, we gotta stop doing that. We gotta stop doing that. If there's never been an incident where the police has been called to a resident before, we can't say, well, if you get 6, now all hell's gonna break loose. We gotta stop doing that. We gotta stop. I told y'all, every time someone wants to do something positive for Tallulah, it's always a fight. The lady wanted to come and do a halfway house in the other part of town. Y'all said no. She said it's gonna have everything secure. We said no. But we got folks that come in that ain't gonna do nothing for Tallulah. Y'all said yes. Make that make sense to me. An attorney, see, you ain't been here long. You ain't been in 2 months, so that's why I don't see why you're here tonight. So if we're gonna have those discussions, we should have the law in front of us to say this is what it says for the R40 and R70. The only thing she's doing is adding 2 more people to a household. What if we have 2 more babies? So now is that a problem?
You're not doing an occupational license.
So what I'm saying is, but the state guideline says she just needs 2 more people. It didn't say she gonna need an occupational license to become a business. That's the point I'm trying to make. So we're making a big old stank out of something that shouldn't be stank. And so we're calling around telling people to say something you don't want this stuff to happen. So she has 4. There's been no incidents of the police being called. There's been no lawlessness going on. None. That's been indicated by nobody. So because I got an occupational license to bring 2 more people in, now it becomes a major problem. And you don't have to answer no question about where you're going to live. Because right now, you're submitting an occupational license for a place where you currently reside, right? That's all you answer.
Okay. Mr. Carter?
Who's objecting?
Mrs. Jackson. Okay. So let me be very clear before this gentleman speaks, okay? The issue tonight is the occupational license, which is typically for a business. What the opposition is saying is that area is not zoned for a business, okay? It's not a smear campaign, it's not anything. It is what it is, that's all, okay? And so what we're doing is discussing this tonight so that everyone can know where everyone stands, okay? Typically, we give occupational licenses for businesses. That's what we've done, that's what it's for. And if we gave you an occupational license for a business, then that means you're operating a business in a residential area. Nobody, we appreciate what you're doing. We understand that you were doing it before, you didn't have any problems. I would say that if the state told you that you needed to get an occupational license, then that's probably what we need to look into. Why are they saying that you need an occupational license?
I agree with that. I wanted to say, Ms. Hicks, thank you for the service that you're providing for those children and to the community. As the mayor said, this is a technical issue.
She ran bullshit.
You guys, come on, right? Please, okay?
It's a technical issue that could very much impact what you're doing in your home.
They gotta stop.
There's been an objection that's been filed, and I don't think there's enough information for the council to make a complete decision. I think it would be helpful if whoever you've been corresponding with the state that made that requirement known to you, that maybe they could submit some of that information to the city and see if there's an opportunity to get some clarity.
And hold on, everyone, hold on. Mr. Wells, okay? Let me remind you, yes, sir. Hold on just one second. Let me remind, I know, yeah. Come on up, you can come on up, because what I'm going to say is, this item is on the agenda tonight as discussion. There isn't going to be a decision made tonight, because we have to figure out first how we would bring it back up, because we've already issued the license. Okay, so that's, yeah.
If y'all already approved it, why would it be rejected? So anybody can come in anytime and reject it, because this is not the only business around in that area, so why is this one being denied? When it's mom and pop, daycare, candy store, and everything else. So why is the problem with she one-on-one? I'm not understanding. But good for one is good for all, right?
Completely.
So everybody else gonna go and get shut down there, right? So she gonna come up here and do the same thing for everybody then, right?
I completely agree with you. I said the same thing in the discussions.
So I can't reject an issue?
What you gotta do for one, you have to do for all.
You gonna do for every other business then, since you can't for this?
I'm in my neighborhood. This
It's
isn't
in your
personal.
neighborhood.
Okay,
Your mom and
hold
pop,
on,
candy
hold
stores,
on.
It's not
everything.
personal, like, cause this is, yeah, it's all
It's
mine.
just discussion tonight, okay?
Oh,
And I
okay,
understand what
that's
you're saying,
right.
I understand what you're saying, okay? What you're saying
City
is,
taxes.
if it's the rule for one, then it's gonna have to be the rule for the other. You're absolutely right.
Mr.
You're absolutely
Wilson,
right.
don't talk to me.
So you automatically issued your occupational license?
Mayor, could you ask Mr. Wilson not to talk to me?
How
She's
long-
gonna
how-
bleed out of line.
Okay, I want to
Why are
ask
you looking at me like
Mr.
that?
Wilson.
Yes, this is right.
Mr. Wilson.
Y'all gotta
Okay?
stop that. Y'all gotta stop that.
Okay,
Now,
everyone be quiet.
it wasn't just
Be,
him.
okay.
Wait, hold
Hold on
wait a
just
minute.
one
Hold
second,
on,
be
hold on.
quiet.
You can't
Just
tell grown
sit
people to be
down.
quiet.
Sit down.
This is a
Sit-
public
Let me get
setting.
out, let me get out. Let me get out.
But she ain't saying nothing.
Stop. Y'all
That's the
Okay,
problem.
what I'm getting ready, be quiet for just a second.
Tom, sit down.
Okay?
Sit down.
Mr.
Well,
Barber.
we ain't gonna do that
Mr.
one.
Barber.
We ain't gonna do that
Mr.
one.
Barber.
Cause you saw, look how they just stand up. We ain't gonna do that with me.
Mr. Barber, have a seat.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do that with me.
Okay? Ms. Jackson, I think that you wanted to speak.
Oh, yes. I'd like to, it was my objection, I'd like to, the last one that you said is just a discussion. But let's be clear, this isn't personal, it's zoned clearly R70. At the time it was filed, I was here. I heard everything that was said. I'm an attorney. I do it for a living. I listen to what people say. What was said by Ms. Hicks was that it was a home for troubled and at-risk youth. Okay, age 20.
Never said nothing like
Okay. If I can talk, I can. Let's go back and listen to the tape.
Everyone, be quiet for a second.
Yeah,
Hold
it
on just
did.
one second.
Yeah, it did.
Hold on just one second. Ms. Jackson, why don't we go ahead and do this? I think you've made your position clear.
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and move on.
So now, do we have a timeline you all are setting to respond to the objection?
Yes.
Okay, and what is that?
We have our next meeting on the. We'll have a formal answer for you by the 22nd.
22nd January.
So Ms. Hicks has not been given an occupational license?
No. I haven't. Right now, she has been issued the license. We are discussing the matter tonight. There is no action being taken on your license tonight. Okay, we are just discussing the matter. Yes, sir.
So, what's concerning then, I'm saying, everything the same from last week. So,
At this point, nothing has changed.
exactly, so what you supposed to be up here?
I invited you because we were gonna be discussing it tonight.
I'm saying, everything the same. What was the reason besides,
Because there was a formal objection, and I brought the formal objection to the council.
and the reason is because of the business over in the residential area?
And the reason is because it was a formal objection to that occupational license.
What I would like to know is, you said there were 2 zones that could not have.
No, I said there's 2 residential zones, R70 and R40.
Do you know exactly where the location is?
Where her location is?
First Baptist Church.
R70.
R40, you can look at the, after the map, you can look at the technician map afterwards. Mr. Wilson, yes, sir.
Yes. The
Okay, Red, let's have Mr. Wilson have the floor, please.
if we gonna play by the rules, we need to play by the rules all the way. Because I'm sure Councilwoman Houston, in her district, she don't want people in her district that don't want to pay city taxes. Now, if you receive a check from this municipality and you say in an open meeting that you don't want to pay city.
Objection, because that's not
No,
your
this-
right.
We
we're
are
not-
talking about this item
Well,
right
I'm
now.
getting to that item because
So go ahead
it's the
and get
same
to-
thing.
go ahead and
It's the
get to
same
the
thing
point.
dealing with the young lady
Go
here.
ahead and make your point.
But if we
Make your
have,
point, sir.
if we have employees here that work for the city, that does contract or not, and they aren't willing to pay city taxes, and they receive city funds,
Mr. Wilson.
it's unfair
Mr.
to
Wilson.
write.
Mr. Wilson, please
See,
make your point about.
I'm making my point.
issue.
If you-
That doesn't have anything to do with.
It has a lot to do because you're saying the young lady here. You say, in other words, the occupation license that you guys are claiming is a business, she have to pay taxes because it will be a business. Because you're trying to classify it as a business.
Occupational
Uh,
licenses are taxes.
Exactly. So if we're talking about taxes, that's the same thing. I have the right to speak on taxes.
No,
Pardon?
No, we're not gonna do this.
You know,
Mr. Wilson,
we got.
don't, Mr.
just
Wilson,
say
please.
that.
Okay.
Y'all.
Okay. Ms. Randy, you're gonna be the last one on this item. Ms. Randy?
I tell you, you have to pick and choose your battles. Normally don't show up here. But you two were late, so I'm gonna give you a copy of this. And I'm gonna give you. And this is definitely not personal. However, I live right across the street from Ms. Hicks. And I'm doing this is because that's my community. So all of you have that letter, and I would hope that you read it. What she doing is a good job with giving children a home. But if that is gonna be a building for access, like you all saying, a business, I have an issue with that. And that's strictly my concern. Any questions from me?
What the real issue is it fearful of maybe something happening?
You read my letter? Because I'm not fearful if something would happen. It's just the idea. If something ain't right, because the thing is, if that would be a business, if you all label that as a business, a home, because from my understanding that agenda had halfway house on it.
And that's not right, Ms. Red.
So whoever wrote it.
Yeah, they're wrong.
So they wrote halfway house.
What agenda?
You all's agenda.
For tonight?
Did it have halfway house on somewhere?
No, that's the rumor going around.
I read something where it said halfway house. Okay, be it as it may, understand my concern. I can't say that a police has been called over there. No, I cannot say that. But and she can have as many residents as she wants. But if that is gonna be a home for children and you're not occupying that home, that's an issue. That is an issue.
But it's general.
It's supervisors, don't say it out.
Hold on, everybody. Ms. Hicks has already said.
Yeah, she is there. I understand that. That is her.
So, Ms. Reddy, I have a question.
Oh, hold on. Let's let Ms. Reddy finish.
How long have you been in business? I mean, that you had.
I have kids at my school.
So, have you had
So I know.
Hold on, ma'am. Okay.
This is nothing personal toward Ms. Hicks. I know Ms. Hicks. I know she worked at the school. I have some of the children in the school. My concern is if this is going to be a group home or whatever other kind of home you all want to label it as. Because you can have more than one house.
Right.
What you do with the other house is the question at hand. That's all I'm saying. Yes, sir.
See, this is my thing. We haven't labeled anything.
No, not yet.
But right, no. See, the only thing we did was approve the occupational license. All the names came from individuals outside of here. So like the halfway house, we never said that. So that came from someone else. We approved the occupational license. So when I said a smear campaign, what I meant by that, there's been communication going out that this is a halfway house. There's this, and that. That's a
Well, it sounds like the reason for the situation is a lack of communication.
But see, this is the thing. Okay, this is the thing. Never once has this council, when we approve the occupational license, has gotten community input for nothing. Never. Have never done it. The individuals will submit their applications to the city. The chief will do a background check or whatever, he would say there's been no incidents, there's no reports of this thing, we'll come and we approve it.
And
We
nobody
have had
questioned.
opposition. You just said
Listen,
earlier.
what
that
I'm
we
saying
had
is, it
somebody
has
say
never happened.
they wanted to do it, and there has been opposition. I'm just correcting you.
No, what I'm saying is, we have never got community input for something like that until now. And we approved it. The last time they didn't approve the young lady's occupational license for whatever reason.
Well, I wish
I know.
someone would have contacted me.
But it was approved. So what I'm saying is this. Only thing it's doing is moving from 4 individuals.
I understand that.
And I got your letter. But it starts out with saying a halfway house. A halfway house has never been discussed. That never came before the council. She never said anything about a halfway house.
I didn't say she said.
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about what's been presented to the council.
Yes.
We voted on what's been brought before us.
Yes.
So where the halfway house stuff came from, we have no clue.
Gotcha.
We voted on the occupational license for moving from 4 individuals to 6. And so we as a council said, okay, we have no problem with that. So we voted to approve it. Then Attorney Jackson said she had a problem with it. And she said she's going to formally object. But we approved the occupational license. We did. So what should have happened, since the attorney is here, the mayor should have told the attorney to research everything before tonight. Because when there's certain topics that we have, she comes in full blaze of information. When we had Magnolia Water, she had all that stuff laid out. See, this ain't really that important to us. She don't have
Okay,
information.
we're not going to go into attacks here, okay? Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
What we're
She'll
going
take
to
me in a
do, we're
resignation, but I'm
going
coming
to
back.
go forward on this. Thank you, ma'am. We will have a decision by the 22nd. We are going to move on the
Mayor, you
agenda.
never did let me really discuss anything. You kind of shut me down, and there are things that are being said.
Okay.
Like we're talking about the occupational
Give her
license.
3 minutes.
The whole purpose-
Mr.
I
Wilson, please. Okay, and Ms. Jackson, what we're going to do, we understand your objection, okay? We understand the grounds of your objection, okay? What we're going to do is reach out to DCFS, understand the reasoning for the occupational license, why you have to have that, and then we will have legal counsel, okay? Look at that. Hopefully we can do that, by tomorrow and get that done. And then we'll be able to make a decision. Okay?
So we're not allowing me to discuss? I'm not clear on what you're saying.
We have exhausted this.
But I do have a right to discuss. It's my objection.
Okay, come forward.
And I'm not trying to, I'm not
Go
trying
ahead,
to
come
take my
forward.
time.
This is going to be the last comment.
I'm not trying to, and I don't need 3 minutes. There's a couple points I want to make. And I'll, what I'm talking, no,
Be quiet, please. Everyone, please be quiet. Mr. Wells.
This is my concern.
Right now, Ms. Jackson has the floor.
My concern is this, let me
and
just
I
have
don't get to take 3 minutes. A couple of points there, it was said that the occupational
Guys,
license.
everybody in the audience, can we please allow Ms. Jackson to speak?
This is the
Okay?
second time.
It was, it was, well, she got up.
That's what I'm saying.
Second
You don't
time.
give me that.
Second time.
Mr. Wilson and Mr. Wells, please, please,
No.
okay? Thank you. Thank you.
Quickly, it was said about the occupational license that the council doesn't know what the occupational license is for. You shouldn't give legally occupational licenses without understanding exactly what they're for. The council has no business doing that if you don't know what it is. We're saying, and then it was said that it's from 4 to 6 children. Did the occupational license limit it to that? No, it did not. And it was said that it was trouble and at-risk youth. It was said that they could go up to age 20. It is in an R70 zone, which is illegal. And that's nothing to research. It's a business. An occupational license is a business. I have every right in my neighborhood to say the laws have to be enforced. It is clear that it's zone R70, you can't have that up there. And that's all that should be done. And we're sitting there, and Ms. Houston, you were the one called it foster care. Ms. Hicks never really called it that. You called it that. You were pushing the foster care. It's not foster care. You don't need an occupational license for foster care. And you know that. You don't need that. So I'm done. I don't need the 3 minutes, and I'll come back when it's brought back up.
We are moving on now, everyone. No, we are moving on. We have exhausted this issue, and we are moving on. The next item on the agenda is update the status of donation of adjudicated property and/or cooperative endeavor agreement with the Madison Parish Library. Attorney, can you give us an update on this, please?
See, this is what I'm about to speak. So God knows.
Y'all got a copy, of I'll wait for Councilman Wells to stop speaking.
Okay, I'll speak.
Councilman Wells, please,
She'll wait.
sir, please.
She'll allow me to speak.
Okay, no, she did not.
She said she'll wait, she'll
Okay,
wait till I
no,
finish.
the attorney, I have asked her to please speak.
Haven't been into the office. She don't
So
talk about it.
what? Goodness gracious, you're acting like a child. Enough, enough already. Enough already. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. The attorney has the floor. Please be quiet.
I'm not a child.
Please be
So
quiet,
the
sir.
attorney has to be.
Mr. Wells, you are out of order. I have given the floor to the attorney. Please allow, the floor is right there. Really? Really? Oh my God. Go ahead, attorney. Thank you, ma'am.
I got some.
You've all got an email in your packet, between, Councilman Wells, do you mind?
No, go ahead and finish. Just talk over it, please.
You got a scorn like
Okay.
you just did.
Please, you guys, allow the attorney to speak. We are bananas in here. This is ridiculous. We are grown people, and we are sitting in here acting like children. This is ridiculous. Enough already. Enough already. The attorney has the floor. Please, Mr. Wells, please be quiet. You have said that 5 times now, okay? Okay? Be quiet already. Please, goodness gracious.
So Attorney Danny Garrett has sent an email, to me, there's a chain between the two of us, it's in your packet.
Shut up.
You know what? I have a motion to adjourn this meeting. May I have a second? Okay, this meeting is
Hey, you ready for it Hey, and we know what she
I know, right?
Yeah, right. The way you act. The way you act. You too old to be that way. Yeah, I will. Miss Lou.